So I keep saying that the Greenville Group has failed to move Mr. DaCosta, the violent, perving, creeping, compulsively masturbating sex offender in 88, in spite of the fact that he has come to my door on multiple recent occasions for no reason, claiming that he could hear me talking to him, even though the door was closed and locked and I was over at my sink or in my bathroom, and there's 2 inches of soundproofing foam covering this wall. Mr. DaCosta has used the fact that he claims he can hear me talking to him as an excuse to violently slam things against my door to the point where the door was cracked back on December 23rd, 2024, which was a month and a half ago, 6 weeks ago. And he recently did that 2 weeks ago as well. The Greenville Group have failed to remove Mr. DaCosta from 88, and he continues to engage in the same exact predictable and quantifiable pattern of aggressive, violent behavior against this wall now, as he did during the last 2.5 years that he's lived in that unit and barely ever left that unit, aside from, an hour or two here or there, maybe to attend court hearings or to do laundry. He's never had a job the entire time he's lived here. He doesn't work from home because, as far as I can tell, you don't get paid to compulsively masturbate by any company, as far as I know, unless you're a porn star. I don't think he is, though. He's kind of fat and ugly, and I don't think he'd get hired for much porn work. Not that I know much about these things, but I'm just assuming you have to be somewhat attractive. And he continues to smack the wall, this wall right here, when I exit my bathroom after using the facilities in my bathroom, even though I'm quiet and I keep the lights off in that bathroom for privacy, because over the last 10 years, several dozen people have told me that they can see and have knowledge of what I do in this unit and have made derogatory comments about the things they can see and hear me doing in the privacy of this unit. So they're not lying. They're bragging and they're making factual and accurate statements about what I do in this unit, which is nothing unusual, but clearly these people think that it's like some kind of a big deal to watch me use my toilet. And Mr. DaCosta, being a sex offender and a compulsive masturbator and a porn blaster, he doesn't seem to care if he's blasting porn throughout the floor when he's actively masturbating and you could hear everything. He doesn't seem to care. I mean, that's how you know you're dealing with a mentally disturbed sex offender, whether he is nationally listed in the sex offender registry or not. That's not an issue. Sometimes when people are mentally disturbed, the Department of Mental Health seals their records so that nobody knows that they're perving, creeping, wanking rejects that present a threat to their children and their women. And Mr. DaCosta just now violently smacked that wall as soon as I exited my bathroom, and he's been doing that same exact smacking based on my activities for 2.5 years. So he's still in that unit. I'm not even sure why they haven't moved him out, but he continues to present a threat to my privacy, to the quiet enjoyment that I have the right to have in this unit. And it's impossible to have quiet enjoyment if your living space is not private, right? If your neighbors are perving, creeping all over everything you do and keep smacking the wall and claim that they can hear you talking, even though there's 2 inches of soundproofing foam. Let's just turn the light on here so you can see what I'm talking about. See this? Yeah, it's about 1.5 inches of soundproofing foam. Covers the entire wall from top to bottom. There's more soundproofing foam right here. Do you see that? And it extends all the way to the back. So when Mr. DaCosta claims that he can hear me talking to him, he's delusional and he's imagining things, or he's using surveillance devices, right? So that supports the multiple and dozens of comments that people have made to me about how they can see and hear what I do in here. Mr. DaCosta claiming that he can hear me talking to him when you can't hear anything through that wall that is verbal. You can hear noise, but you can't hear words or phrases, and you can't hear specific enunciations. So when he's blasting his video games or porn movies, I can't hear words. I can just hear a lot of noise that sounds like thunder because, again, the soundproofing foam covering this wall right here, the entire wall, from one end to the other, top to bottom, prevents the auditory dissemination of very clear enunciated words and phrases. The only way Mr. DaCosta can hear what I do in the privacy of this unit, especially if I'm quietly using my toilet, is if he's using surveillance devices. Even if you're standing at the door with your ear glued to that door, you can't possibly hear somebody using the toilet when they're trying to be quiet and they're not making noise, right? I mean, I don't know, like, some people pee like racehorses, but I don't. So he should not have any knowledge of me sitting on that toilet quietly. But he likes to smack the wall as soon as I exit my bathroom after using the facilities. And that's something that's been going on for 2.5 years. So that's how I know it's him that's sitting on the other side of that wall right now, smacking that corner. The pounding noises came from that corner, not from down below or 2 floors down or around the corner or down the street. They're right there against that corner right there where Mr. DaCosta was also making a lot of slamming and banging noises throughout the evening yesterday when I tried to put a spoon in my mouth. Apparently he has this oral fixation as well as a toilet fixation and gets violent when I open my mouth and try to put things in it. And that is entirely surveillance based. Again, eating is pretty quiet and nobody should have knowledge of what you're doing when there's soundproofing foam covering an entire shared wall. Yeah, so it's right around 5:35 p.m. now on Wednesday, February 19th, 2025. I've just filed a court motion against the landlord due to bad conditions that they're refusing to remedy. The water to this tap continues to be not warm. This is lukewarm, and the cold water tap is completely shut off. So this is on, right? This is a cold, off. This is a hot water tap, off. And even with the hot water tap at maximum and the cold water tap completely off, this water is barely lukewarm. So there's really no hot water. I mean, it's not hot. It's barely even warm. And I've filed 2 complaints with inspectional services over the last 24 hours for no heat and lack of hot water. And they're going to have to come out because this is not hot water. It's barely warm. And it seems to cut out after just a few minutes. So there's insufficient hot water to this unit. I don't know about the units down the hall. I'm going to have to go down the hall and see. And there's also no heat in this unit once again. So there was a little bit of heat 25 minutes ago. Now it has gone back to no heat. No heat. Yeah, those baseboards are cold. Oh my gosh. So I have to call inspectional services back, have the inspector come out this evening. This is not a livable situation. It's approximately 19 or 20 degrees outside. It was 18 degrees last night, and this water is not even warm. I mean, it's not ice cold, but if you take a shower in that, you're going to be uncomfortable. It's not warm enough to be comfortable to take a shower in, and it's not hot enough to adequately wash dishes, you know, without excessive amounts of soap. So, yep. That's the state of the unit. I mean, I've just filed a court motion because the Greenville Group are failing in a very significant and systematic way to do anything at all about the lack of heat and the no hot water in this unit, and also to this floor. I can't speak for the rest of the building. I haven't been down to the main floor or to the second floor, but I know that it's not happening on this floor. There's still no heat and no hot water. No hot water. So when the water is barely lukewarm and you have the cold water shut off and you have only the hot water tap running and it's barely lukewarm, that is not hot water. So they're failing to provide heat or hot water right now. So there we go. Call the inspector, have them come out.